Hello, I'm Bob Clark, the Executive Director of Cinekyd Enterprises Incorporated. What you're about to see is a production created by kids, members of Cinekyd. They're boys and girls who range in age from 7 to 17 years. This entire show was done by them. This is not a professionally produced motion picture or television show. You have a rare opportunity to witness the talents and the creative abilities of a lot of boys and girls who come to Cinekyd, which is located in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, from 43 neighboring communities. So sit back and relax. Long ago, two stars collided in the heavens. A few small pieces of the larger star fell millions of miles and landed on this planet. The pieces of the star were mounted in a beautiful amulet. When worn by someone whose heart is pure, the mother star in the heavens will provide the wearer with special powers. He shall be called the ASTREKYND, the Star Child.
There was somebody there. Must have been just a bad dream.
Yeah, a nightmare.
No, there was somebody there.
Don't worry, you got it. Yeah, it happens to everybody. Yeah, just relax.
It was just a bad dream.
Yeah, don't worry.
going home.
Look at these clothes. Who's seen it? Bring him over here. He's mine. What the?
Hey, wait a minute, dude. It's okay. It's cool. I'm not. I saw these guys. So I came over to help him. I'm not with him at all.
Hey, man. Wanna get up?
Mr. Bachman, I realize the stairs are a problem, but the toilet in the boys' bathroom upstairs needs work.
I only have 2 hands. Now what's it gonna be? Up the stairs or down the toilet?
But you've been out here for 3 hours.
Mrs. Perkins, do you think it's easy? What do you think? I just come out here and slap some glue on and just stick them on? No, I have to make sure each one of these treads is sturdy enough for the children.
Problems?
Always.
We were just going to take the children out back to the playground to play dodgeball before dinner.
That would be a fine idea.
Will dinner be at the same time?
I hope so.
All right, well, if you need us, we'll be around back at the playground.
That's fine. Mr. Bachman, please. The children will be in soon to wash up for dinner.
In a minute, in a minute.
You want me? Yes, I'd like you to set a few extra places for dinner tonight.
A few extra plates.
What do you think I'm running? Some kind of a restaurant or something?
Well, some of the children made some new friends at school and invited them over for dinner.
Oh, I see. And since I've got nothing better to do with my time than stand around setting plates for all the millions of children in the world.
They won't eat very much.
Oh, all right. But let me tell you, if I was more than the cook around here, I'd make a few changes.
She's just cranky.
Yes, she's a fine woman down deep.
Mrs. Perkins, I don't know how you do it, but somehow you seem to find a little bit of good in everybody.
Yes, but sometimes I have to look very hard.
I know what you mean.
Hi, Mrs. Perkins.
Just a minute, boys. Hayes, what's the matter?
Nothing, ma'am.
Have you been fighting?
It wasn't his fault, man. I mean, he was just walking along and, well, he bumped into this big group of kids. And they started picking on him. And they were kind of big and strong and, well, they beat him up.
What started it?
Nothing, ma'am. Nothing.
Name calling?
Well, I guess so, but I don't want to talk about it right now.
We try very hard to run a good home for our children here. And some of the other children in town who are fortunate enough to have families don't realize what name calling can do. But that's no reason to start fighting.
This kid hit him first.
Don't worry about it.
I am gonna worry about it. I mean, every time we go to school, we get picked on and called names, and it's not our fault.
Just forget about it.
That doesn't matter.
But it does matter. I mean, our clothes, we can't help it, but we still get picked on and called names, and it's not our fault. Well, my parents, they'll be back to pick me up soon. But what about them and the rest of the kids?
Larry, boys, just go upstairs and get washed up for dinner. Just a minute. Speaking of clothes, Larry, where's that new jacket you just got?
I guess I must have left it at the playground.
I'll get it. Mr. Bachman, please.
In a minute. In a minute.
Excuse me, I'm looking for, Mrs. Perkins?
Yes, I'm Mrs. Perkins.
Good afternoon. My name is Horace Knight, and I represent a group of people who are very interested in acquiring this property. In fact, I'm in a position to make you a substantial offer for the entire grounds.
That's nice. Mr. Bachman, please. Very nice to have met you.
Mrs. Perkins, wait.
It's all set.
Tell me about it.
Forrest is going to try to pass himself off as a real estate broker to get the old lady to sell the place.
I see.
As far as we can tell, there's only the old lady, a cook, a janitor, and a couple of college kids helping out. And occasionally there's a social worker who'll stop by.
This is Horace's idea?
Yes, it is. You know, Uncle, you still haven't told me why you want to buy the orphanage.
No, I haven't. That boy, is he one of the orphans?
Yes, I believe he is.
Dolan? Yes, sir. Bring us around the corner. Farkas? We've got some work to do.
To a larger building. I'm sure the children would like that.
Yes. Now, what did I do with that paper? I swear I saw it just yesterday.
Mrs. Perkins.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, now as I was saying, all you have to do is present the idea to the state board. I'm sure they would approve of it.
There it is.
Oh,
You know, I've been looking for this for
my
months.
back is killing me. Boy, do I need a place to sit down.
Hey, what were you saying?
Well,
Now, as I was saying,
I mean, you got me polishing the brass kick plates and changing all the light bulbs. It's impossible.
my employers are willing to pay $100,000 for this property.
Oh, boy.
Am I late? It's okay. I thought we had a meeting. Are we early? You're right on time. It's
And all those screws sitting perfectly on those stairs.
Now, would you please consider my offer?
All right, where's my rump roast?
Your rump roast?
Yes, my rump roast. It's missing from my freezer.
Mrs. Perkins,
I have the keys.
we are willing to go as high as $125,000.
You I've got all the keys.
There's nothing I can do about the boilers. We don't have the equipment.
Yeah, well,
And I certainly don't
Fanny out
have
of
the
this chair
time.
who'll help look
You know,
for it.
we're just going to have to get someone from the outside to take care of
We'll go
it.
hungry. Every day I'm working hours.
Upstairs in the boys'
He
room.
wants a cup of tea.
Toilet,
Tell him to get
the boys' room.
himself.
Research on.
Quiet. Here he comes. Stay here until I call for him. Hey, kid, where's 334 Westover Lane? I gotta check the roof out of the place.
street right now.
Come on, you'll get it.
This is mine. Oh, is this fun, Jay? Whoa!
I don't know. I just can't see fighting for no reason. I mean, I can understand it if we took something of theirs or if we said something about them. But we didn't do anything. They just pick on us because we're orphans. It's not our fault. I'm all right. I want to go take a walk. I'll be back.
Listen, sweetie pie, luck has nothing to do with it. It's all pure talent. Bye, y'all. How much time do we have?
Hours.
Contest is going to work.
I think so. If anything, is selling tickets.
Guess young performers have to start someplace. This is a beautiful area.
Makes it hard to think about anything.
Yeah, on a day like this, you don't have a care in the world. Lance, you never did tell me why you became a talent manager.
Well, you heard the old saying, those who can't do, teach. Well, in our business, those with no talent manage.
I can't believe you have no talent.
Let me put it this way. I limit my singing to the shower. I have 2 left feet, which means I can't dance.
You have no desire to be up on stage?
Not really. I'm quite happy with what I'm doing. Dottie, are you the only person in your family who's a performer?
Yep, I'm the only one.
How come you didn't become a school teacher, or a nurse, or a secretary?
Sound like my family. I guess ever since I was a little girl, I enjoyed the spotlight and the audience and took a few dance lessons. Then after I graduated from high school, did some theater and it was in a few stock companies and off Broadway. And hopefully someday.
The big break?
Yes, that's what I'm counting on. What's wrong?
I don't have any brakes.
What do you mean you don't have any brakes? Do something!
The car's out of control. We're gonna crash!
Good afternoon. You folks all right? That's good. I saw a gas station about a half mile down the road. Why don't you put the car in park, go down there and get some help?
You should have seen the place, Mr. Watson. People who work there are crazy. I couldn't get a word in edgewise. It's not as if I didn't try. I offered them $125,000. It wasn't my fault. I did everything just like you told me.
Why don't I own the place?
It was the old lady. She doesn't have the authority. The state owns the place.
In order to make this look like a legal matter, we're going to have to prove incompetence.
I think Horace has already done that.
No, not Horace. The old lady, or perhaps a member of the staff.
What do you have in mind?
As I see it, we've already begun. Shouldn't professionals be able to look after children entrusted to their care? As I see it, it's time for the government to pay the orphanage a little visit.
You'll arrange that.
I'll do better. I'll handle the matter personally.
Very well.
Thank you, Uncle.
Don't ever fail me again. Wilma has a good idea. But I think it's time I looked into this. Myself. You. Come with me.
Mr. Watson, while you're gone, what do you want me to do with him?
Hugo. care of the boy.
Hello, folks. Sorry we're late. Hold on. We had a little trouble with the car.
That's the reason we're late. We had to get the brakes fixed. You won't believe how much it costs to simply get
That's not the important part. Our brakes failed. We're about to crash when all of a sudden...
This boy, he just flew out of the air and stopped the car.
Wow, that sounds like something from That's Incredible.
Well, he did.
Donnie, I don't think they're going to believe us. Tell you what, let's run the local talent stuff first. Okay, let's go.
Hi, I'm Sandy Poole. Ta-da! Did you hear the one about the three dentists? One liked to drill, the other liked to poke, and the third liked to play golf.
Trixie and Herman, well, they can jump through hoops, they can walk on their hind legs, and they can even count. But, see, they haven't arrived yet. Could I audition later?
Well, Dad, will you leave from Flaming Hope?
But we're having some trouble finding our safety mats, so we'll not be able to perform at this time. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4.
I'm a juggler. Juggling is a very ancient art. It's been practiced for centuries. It takes very little skill to juggle one item or two items.
Good enough.
However, juggling is raised to an art form when one attempts to juggle 3, 4, 5, 6 items, all at the same time.
I realize your concern, Mr. Dumbledore, but children such as, Dennis, are customarily placed here by the state. They're not dropped off at the door, so to speak.
Well, now, I understand your position, Mrs. Perkins. But, ma'am, you gotta understand mine. The boy ain't kin. He just showed up at our door one morning, and my wife, being the kind soul that she is, took him in and gave him breakfast. How long ago was that, boy?
A week.
See, he's been with us a week, ma'am. I'm a traveling salesman. I'm on the road a lot. I can't take care of no youngin'. I figured this being an orphanage was the perfect place to bring him.
Dennis, how old are you?
14.
And where are your parents?
I don't know.
Oh, where did you stay before you were staying with the Dumbledingers?
All over.
Well, all right. Yes. Can you send in Mr. Carter and Miss Neal, please? Oh, and see if you can find Bertrand, too. Yes. Thank you.
Come on over here, Denny boy. Let me say goodbye and leave you a couple of bucks. You know what I expect. I want to hear from you every day.
Piece of cake. Oh, more of this when the job's done.
We'll see. There you go, boy.
Dennis, this is Bertrand.
Hi.
Hi. He'll show you to the boys' dorm.
Come on, Dennis, I'll show you around. Wait till you meet the guys.
Well, I'll call the Capitol tomorrow and see what I can do. Meanwhile, he'll just stay here.
No problem. Now we got a baseball team.
After we make sure he's settled, we'll take him down to the kitchen and see that he has something to eat.
Good, thank you. Well, Mr. Dunn.
Well, ma'am, I want to thank you for everything you've done. I really do appreciate it.
Excuse me, I just let myself in. There was no one in the outer office.
Yes, can I help you?
I'm Delia Partridge, and I'm here to discuss the impending state inspection.
Well, I see you two ladies have a lot of business to talk over, so I'm going to mosey. Now, please do take care of the boy.
I will.
And thank you very much, ma'am.
Miss Partridge, won't you have a seat, please?
Before we send the state inspector, there are a couple of questions about how your orphanage is being run that we'd like cleared up.
Oh, my.
Going as fast as I can. This smells horrible. Someone's coming. Let's get out of here.
And I'm telling you, the oven is not working. The gas comes from here, and the oven is up there. So, unless you fix it, you all won't be getting any supper tonight.
All right, I'll take care of it.
Can we help? Can we help, please?
All right, but stay out of the way.
Oh, the children never get in the way.
Oh, well, let me tell you something, you... Oh, wait a minute. No, here, hold these. Probably something to do with the valve. Children!
Mr. Blackman!
What's the matter?
In the warehouse, Mr. Bachman and the kids were...
All right, go to Mrs. Perkins, quick.
All right, let's try it one more time.
I walk along the city streets you used to walk along with me, and every step I take reminds me of just how we used to be. Oh, how can I forget you, girl? And there is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Shadows fall, I pass a small cafe where we dance at night. I can't help recalling how it felt to kiss, hold you tight. Oh, how can I forget you, girl? When there is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. I was born to love her, and I will never be free. You'll always be a part of me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You should find you used the sweet and tender love we used to share. Just go back to the places where we used to go, and I'll be there. Oh, how can I forget you, girl? When there is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. I was born to love her, but I will never be free. You'll always be a part of me, 'cause there is always something there to remind me. 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 Always something there to remind me.
That was great, guys. It's got a real future ahead of you, as long as you get along with each other.
We will.
Okay, we'll have a rehearsal in about an hour. We'll run everything through with the local talent. Why don't you take a break and get something to eat?
Okay, see you later.
Okay.
Hey, Brad, aren't you gonna eat lunch?
No, I think I'll wrap up some of the gear. You go on ahead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bachman. Are you sure you're feeling all right?
Yes, Mrs. Perkins, I'm fine, thank you.
Well, I really do appreciate this.
I just don't know what could have happened. I thought I checked that valve. I thought everything was perfect. And believe me, I would have never, ever let the children in if I had known.
I'm sure you wouldn't have.
And even the gas company, when they came to fix it, said that it looked like it had been tampered with.
Got you a cup of tea. That should make you feel better. Made it myself, too. Just the way you like it. 2 lumps of sugar and a little bit of honey.
Why, thank you, Hazel.
Mrs. Kronsky, how kind of you. You know, after all that's gone on here today, I could use a cup myself.
Well, dear, you know where the kitchen is. But let me tell you, If there's some kind of explosion in this office, you will be the first to get a cup of tea.
Thank you. You know, Mr. Barker, I still just don't understand. When we arrived, the door had been knocked clean off the hinges, and all three of you were safely outside. How could that be?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
It's the heaven's truth. I just don't know. I remember smelling the fumes, and then the next thing I know, I was outside, safe. It was a miracle.
Excuse me. Yes? The police? Yes. His name is Larry Kerwin. He's about 11 or 12. Yes, he's been with us for 6 or 7 weeks. Yes, I suppose there is a possibility, but
It was that kid, Danny, who was saying something when he woke up.
Oh, yes, Donnie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it seems that when Donnie woke up, everything was in a haze. He said he looked across the room, and there he saw a boy, not much older than himself. And the boy got up, and he just flew away.
He flew away.
He just flew away. He had a bright gold cape and a little brown suit.
Flew away. You sure don't have been drinking tea?
Hazel.
Thank you.
Only kidding.
Goodbye.
Find him?
No, not yet.
Well, if you ask me, it's good riddance. Just one less mouth to feed.
Hazel. You know, this is a bad time. With a state inspection coming, we have a child missing, and now this accident. I'm afraid they may close the orphanage.
What are you gonna do?
It's not our fault. It isn't.
When was the last time you saw him?
It was just before lunch yesterday. He said he'd stay behind and pack up some gear.
You think maybe he was in an accident?
You know, I was watching the rehearsal yesterday, and maybe he tripped over his own 2 feet and broke his leg.
You know, Zena, that's what I like about you. You're all heart. Maybe we should call the hospitals.
No, I don't think he was in an accident.
What do you think happened to him?
Look, you're a good group. You guys have done real well together. But I think Brad wanted to get out on his own.
What do you mean?
For his ego, personal satisfaction. I've seen it happen before.
Lance, did you ever stop to think that first, we had to hire local talent? Second, we had to stage a benefit for the orphanage. Third, that kinky business with your car brakes failing. And fourth, the lead singer of the Crimson Icebergs suddenly disappears. Do you think maybe the show was jinxed?
So?
And maybe we should call it off?
No, no, no! Of all my years, I've never canceled a performance. The trio will now become a duet. And no matter how good you are, or how they are, the show must go on.
It was awful. He was scary. I won't sleep for a week.
I know. It'll be all right. Marcia, what happened?
Well, there was a man, I'm sure it was a man, it wasn't a child. And he was wearing some grotesque Halloween mask. He ran down the playground and scared all the children.
Did you call the police?
Yes, but by the time they'd gotten there, he was gone.
Well, he must have been some kind of pervert or something. Curry, yes. Hayes, what happened again?
Like I said before, this group of kids grabbed Curry and him.
Was it that group of ruffians again?
Yeah. And then they tied Curry to a tree, and a snake came, but he managed to get away.
Wait a second, this getting away business. What was it Curry said? A boy flew in and tore the ropes from him. A boy in a gold cape.
See, I told you.
I know, Donnie, the super child. Dennis, how was it you managed to get away?
Well, you see, they tied me up at a different tree, and they didn't tie it up very tight, so I got away. Well, they did.
You know, I've been paying this quite a lot of mind, and you want to know what I think?
Guys, they're here. They're here.
Who's here, Hazel?
The state inspector. And his personal secretary.
I completely forgot they were coming. I've got to get in there. I'll talk to you all later. I do hope he hasn't been waiting for long.
Can we go watch TV? Are we allowed to go watch television?
That'll be fine.
Come on, guys.
Keep an eye on
No, I'm no goody two-shoes, but this doesn't make any sense. What do you care about a bunch of no-talent performers? And why is it so important to stop their show? And that orphanage. We could be out making big bucks. And what are you doing? You're scaring little kids. Now, I've been working for you for a good number of years, and I've done my share of business for you. I've been in trouble with the law before, too. So it really doesn't bother me that we now have 2 more federal charges against us, the kidnappings. But the point is that they're orphans. How much money do you expect to get on ransom for them? Who's going to give you the money? The welfare board? Seriously. Why do you always do that? I hate it when you do that.
Horace, there are 2 things in life that I adore. One is money. The other is more money. Now, the approximate value of the orphanage property is $250,000. I happen to know that that property is targeted for a federal development project. Within a year, the value of that property could increase 20, 30, or if we're lucky, even 40 times. I want the orphanage, Horace. More accurately, I want the property the orphanage is on. Now, about this show. It's a fundraiser for the orphanage. That means publicity for the orphanage. I want there to be no publicity. I want there to be no show.
Yeah. Sophia.
Hello? Hello, Denny. Let's not get greedy now, Denny. The mask worked.
Yeah, the mask really scared him.
I want them to be scared.
Uh-huh. No, I'm at the mall. Uh-huh. Well, what do you want me to do next?
I have a job for you, Denny. I want you to contact those roughnecks. Yes. You know where they hang out. Tell them I have a job for them.
Uh-huh. Well, listen. I'm getting a little low in cash, so, the parking lot? Okay. See you later.
Where's Scorpion? Okay.
I'm C. Osborne Paisley,
And this is my personal private executive secretary, Ms. Sarah Kingsley.
How do you do?
I suppose I should introduce you. This is Mrs. Hazel Klonsky. She's our chief dietitian. Yes. And this is Mr. Conrad Bachman. He's our...
Chief Maintenance Executive. Pleased to meet you.
Likewise.
Yes. Well, if you two will just... Now, I don't mean to take up your time, dear, but I'd like to go over tonight's menu, if it's okay. You two are welcome to join us if you'd like.
No, thank you.
Well, I don't mean to be repetitious, but how's about a turkey, mashed potatoes or stuffing, whichever the little dears prefer. A fresh milk from the farmer across the street. Oh, and for dessert, delicious ice cream that the children and I worked on this morning.
Oh, yes, and you just must tell me what time dinner's going to be exactly. The boys and girls and I have decided to go out and plant trees all along the front and make it a lot nicer.
6 o'clock?
Oh, yeah, 6 o'clock would be just fine, just fine.
You know, it's a lot of work cooking for all those darling children, but I don't mind.
Oh, yes, and I am just so proud of this place. I guess it's just because the children are so proud.
Yes. Well, if you two will just excuse us, I'll talk to you later then.
Oh, yes, of course.
Shall we?
Oh, yes. After you.
Oh.
Are they quite finished then?
I am sorry. Now, Mr. Paisley and Mrs. Kingsley.
Ms., dear, it's Ms. Kingsley.
Yes, of course, dear. Mr. Paisley, where did you want to get started with the inspection?
Mrs. Perkins, the inspection is complete.
I don't understand. I thought...
What Mr. Paisley is trying to say is the inspection has already been done. Mr. Paisley has already inspected the grounds, talked with the children, and closely inspected your staff. And another of other concerns and problems.
Yes. Mrs. Perkins, first, the actual age of the physical plant is most distressing.
It's on page 7 of the report.
Yes. Second, the disappearance, as it were, of one of your charges, a Larry... Kerwin. Then, the gross negligence, the severe violations of practically every section of Code 522, specifically paragraphs
241, 223,
etc., vis-a-vis installation of gas lines to your oven, gross human error, and then the mental state of your children. These wards of the state, they seem to be terrified half the time.
Mr. Paisley, if you'll just let me explain, I think I...
Mrs. Perkins, I am empowered to do nothing more than to make my recommendations to the State Board of Review. Invariably, of course, they approve my recommendations. At this particular point in time, I would be remiss if I did not strongly recommend immediately closing this orphanage, taking the children to a more suitable...
Perkins, doesn't anyone ever knock on coming into your office door?
Marcia, please, I'll talk to you later. Not now.
Please, it's just awful.
Please, I'll talk to you outside.
But
please. Mr. Paisley, if you could just give us a little more time,
Mrs. Perkins, these violations are so severe, so extensive. This orphanage probably should have been closed 5 years ago. I'm afraid, Mrs. Perkins, that it is too late. Good day, Ms. Kingsley.
Good day, Mrs. Perkins.
Here goes.
Can't do it. I guess we'll just have to wait till one of the bigger boys comes.
Okay.
You know, this is the one job I really hate.
Why?
Because I get kind of scared.
There's nothing to be scared of.
B-bone.
Can you hold it open?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
All right, see you guys inside.
D-bone.
Boy, I really hate this. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Thank you, ladies. I hate that when people do that to me.
I bunk.
Ever seen such skill? Only in a circus.
Yeah, well, that's where you belong.
How many more?
One, his. You know, I don't really like it out here.
We'll be in soon.
Don't you ever get afraid in the dark?
Me? Nah, I never get scared. Nothing ever scares me.
Boy, so it's awful heavy.
Yeah, I'll bet you if they were in there, they couldn't get it open.
You know what we're gonna do, you guys? We're gonna put you in there and close the lids on you.
Yeah, there's rats in there, man. Rats as big as dogs.
Really
Cockroaches 6 inches long.
You could slip around in the trash all night.
That is, if they live all night, maybe they won't get in the air. They'll suffocate.
Come on, let's put them in.
Hiya. You know, if you're gonna put them in there, then you're gonna have to lift the lid first. And I'll bet you can't do that.
Yeah.
Come on, what's the matter with you?
You try, I will.
See? I told you.
The girl. The other material. Very good, Barkus.
There they are.
The guy with the beard?
Take care of them.
They're here.
Slicer.
Excuse me, my watch seems to have stopped. Do you have the time?
Oh, yes, it's 3 o'clock.
Thank you.
Let's go, Miss Kingsley.
It's over? Now?
Let's move.
Sure you can count it.
Excuse me. Got anything for me? I was expecting a little more.
Were you?
Yes, I was.
You would have gotten it. But you were followed.
But
Dolan?
Sir.
Go around back and open up the trunk. I think we have another load.
This doesn't make any sense. All he wants is the orphanage. Is anyone listening to me? It's just another kidnapping. That's 4 counts of kidnapping. It's 4 counts.
All right? Hayes,
Where are we?
I'm not sure. Are you all right?
Do I know you?
I'm Larry.
I don't remember anything. I don't even know who I am.
Don't you remember anything?
Who am I?
Hayes Sterling.
Try. You gotta remember.
Hayes, think. Try to remember. Think. Try to remember the orphanage. Miss Perkins. And Kurt. What's that?
Man, that must have cost a lot.
I've seen that before. Yeah. When Lance and I were driving. In the car, when the brakes failed.
This may not work, but I forgot to try something. I am mere mortal with the sign of the star. Let my small voice be heard in the heavens afar. Ground and thunder awaken the wind, and then it become the ASTREKYND.
Which way are we going?
Out through the window.
All right!
I've always loved it here. The trees and the grass. It's so beautiful here. And so ugly there.
Hey, come on, Mrs. Perkins. The children are having a great time over at the motel. We can just keep them there until the orphanage is rebuilt.
Sure, Mrs. Perkins, and Rudy and I, we'll be here during the semester breaks and we'll help out. I don't know. I'd like to think we could rebuild Mill Valley Orphanage again. Oh, no.
I'm afraid that will never happen, Mrs. Perkins. At least not in this state.
Although we seem to be a little bit late. As I had predicted, they did take my advice, and this is your post facto notice of closure. I trust no one was injured in the blaze.
No, fortunately not.
Oh, that's good. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure you'll all, or most of you, will find gainful employment. Good day. Dottie.
Lance, you have to call the police.
Why? What's the matter?
The boy who stopped the car.
Dottie, come on inside.
I want more money. I gotta get out of here.
In due time. Get lost.
I'm not gonna get lost. I want more money. Come on.
What should we do?
Take care, Paisley. We'll handle him later.
Okay.
A bit unusual, isn't it? The building to burn down so soon.
I thought they were taking care of it, the house.
I'm not with.
I think I'll be leaving now.
Sure Horace knew he was to meet us here. I'm not waiting for him any longer. Hugo, go back to the car. I don't think you're going to do the diners any good. I trust Mr. Kerwin is waiting for us. Let's go. Menu, please. Wanted to talk to you about this show. Now, I have nothing against show business.
or show people. I just don't want this show to go on.
Well, if you excuse me, I'd like my business associate to join us.
That's right. There's no one back there.
In fact, I hear the police coming right now.
probably another car. All right, get your guns out. This way.
He's one of them, the big one.
Okay, now you gotta promise me you're gonna stay here.
But I want to help you.
You gotta stay here. Okay. Oh no. I think I owe you one.
What's that?
I don't know. We better split up. You go over there. You come with me. I may not have a knife or a gun. But when I get through with him, you won't be able to tell what he was.
Don't kill him.
Go call the cops.
New look, Zena?
Yes. What do you think?
Why don't you let the audience decide? You're up next.
I'll be ready.
Lance, I think this is the nicest thing you've ever done.
Yes, I think so too.
Excuse me while I check on our guests. So how you folks doing?
Mr. Hudson, I can't thank you enough.
It's my pleasure. Looks pretty good so far. A couple more nights, we'll have enough money to keep the kids here until we rebuild the orphanage.
And you know, I'm going to personally supervise the construction of this one.
We'll enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Having a good time? Yeah, it's pretty good so far. You know, I still don't understand. How did you ever escape? I don't remember.
It was the ASTREKYND. It had to be. It had to be.
The ASTREKYND? It could be, but I don't remember.